Hello and welcome to StroongeCast episode 21.
Would you believe it?
And I've been told off for not saying hello Stroongers because Marie, who is a fan of ours, who, welcome by the way, told me that I should be saying that more. And also that I haven't done the name intro for ages as well, so I'm going to rectify that. I'm Andre.
And I'm Kirsten.
And she is my lovely wife. So it's been a while, hasn't it? I don't know the last time we did that.
No.
How are you feeling?
Weeks, I think. Fine.
Good.
Yeah.
It's been cold in London.
It is very chilly in here.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of December weather, but we're in February now, so it shouldn't be.
Yeah, still another month or so, I reckon, of this.
Oh, God.
Before spring comes.
Before spring. Bring the spring. Bring the spring, yeah, definitely.
Bring the spring, yeah.
So, last week I asked you a quiz question, and that was my wife's name, Kirsten, 7 letters long, and you can make 2 words, one polite and one slightly less polite, with all 7 letters. Actually, Louis did get it right. So the answer to the question of the polite one is tinkers. Tinkers.
Yeah.
Tinkers. And the slightly less polite version is moving the S of tinkers and putting it on the beginning of tinker. So it becomes stinker. Stinker.
Lovely.
S-T-I-N-K-E-R.
I'm so glad.
Yes, I know. So there's 3 names, or 3 words from just one 7-letter word. That's actually quite amazing.
My name brings so much joy to you.
It brings a lot of joy to me. I mean, as does the person behind it, to be fair, but I just like that. But anagrams are my thing. I just love them. I didn't get them as a kid, but the older I've become, the more interested I've become in them. So that's quite cool. So, do you have a new question for us this week?
I do. It is based on my favourite animal. What do you call a group of flamingos?
Oh, right then. I'd say a hopping pot.
Yeah. My favourite animals, so that's why I picked that one.
Tell us about Frank.
Frank is a very fine flamingo light or lamp that we have on top of the piano. The actual body of the lamp is it looks gold, but it's obviously not made of gold. It's, whatever underneath and covered in gold. Very proud standing flamingo. And then there is a lampshade, like a sort of pinky lilac, almost round lampshade above. And he is a very beautiful lamp that sits on top of the piano. And we called him Frank, or I called him Frank. And so when he's plugged in and we want to turn him on, we say, hey, insert name that I won't say because it will activate, turn on Frank. And then Frank comes on.
Frank the Flamingo.
Frank the Flamingo. Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like alliteration in this house.
We do.
I think we told you about Helga last week. Or maybe we didn't.
I don't think we did.
Okay, so Helga is a space heater. And it's in the corner of the room. And it's been cold enough that we wanted to use some kind of heating in the house, but without using our radiators, which cost a fortune. So we have a flat tariff electricity plan, so we decided we'd use one space heater in the living room. And because my wife likes alliteration, we called the heater Helga. And same applies. You can, hey, insert name, turn on Helga.
Yeah, I just think that's really cool. I like saying it. I think it's so much more fun than
turn the heater
on or, turn the lamp on or whatever. It's just, more exciting.
So there you go. A bit about us and our weirdnesses. So on with the episode then, we have a little bit of news about last week's episode, synesthesia. Turns out both of our children have it and thought it was normal, and so we've never really discussed it. Although we did a bit, didn't we? Because Jake said that he reminded you of something to do with green?
Green. I think he said that he tasted green or something like that, but I don't really remember, but I think I probably would have just thought, it's just one of those strange things that kids say.
Yeah.
Kids say all kinds of bizarre things. And because they've never mentioned anything else, and it's not really something that you ask your child,
Hey, do you have
Because it's-
synesthesia?
Well, yeah, but also because it's so broad. There's so many different things that people think or feel or whatever it might be. So,
Yeah.
you know, you just don't ask. But when we started explaining it to them, they both went, oh, yeah.
You've always had that.
Yeah, we just thought that was normal. That's what everybody thought. So
This is
that
why
was really interesting, actually.
after that conversation, we kind of thought that a lot more people have a version of synesthesia than first realized.
Yeah, it's just not talked about. You just don't realize.
Because if you think everyone else has it, why do you even talk about it? Everybody breathes. You just do, you know?
It's that same thing of, we've talked about this before, having the inner voice in your head.
Oh, yes. And those that don't.
Yeah. So people who have the voice in their head. So when you read, you hear the voice reading it out, or your thoughts that you're having, you know, you hear them, you talk to yourself in your head, not in like a weird way, but you know, it's your inner voice. But there are people who don't have that at all. And both, I think that the other is really strange. Because I can't imagine just silence in your head, but...
Comment if you don't have an inner voice. Because that's a minority.
Well, you say that, but maybe it's not. We don't know.
I think studies have been done. I think it is.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Because there's that inner monologue. And people don't have an inner... It's weird to think that people don't have an inner monologue.
No.
That's crazy to me.
Just a voice.
Yeah.
Just silence in their head.
Silence all the time.
Very strange.
I don't know how you think thoughts then.
No, I don't know. Maybe you see them written.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe it's like a, pen and a chalkboard or something. You just like scribble.
It's making me think of, do you remember CFAX?
Yeah.
On the telly?
Of course.
And it just used to like run constantly. It just makes me think of that in your head. Just a sort of continuous dialogue.
Yes.
But yeah, back to the kids. We actually found that they're both quite different.
Yeah.
I think you've got a little something to show later of Alice at the end.
I do.
But Jake's was more sort of spatial, I guess. And maybe not synesthesia, but actually what he was talking about was that he is able to picture a room or a space in a 3D way. Yeah. Which is
very deep.
Really interesting. And probably why he was absolutely amazing at Minecraft when he was younger.
Because my brother, his Uncle Dwayne, said that he was building things in ways that he'd never thought of. And he's an adult. When he was much younger, Jake was younger. So I thought that was quite interesting.
And he was sort of, 10 at the time when he was doing stuff like that? So.
8, 9, 10 kind of ages.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is actually good at picturing things. And I think maybe that's why he's also such a good guide, because he knows spatially where everything is and is going to be.
Yeah.
Like, he hasn't once walked me into things. No. It's always been other people. And I said this in the kids episode, I think it's episode 7. But he is like one of the... And it's weird, people think that I was joking. No, he's one of the best guides I've ever had. I don't know how it became that way. But I think maybe just from a young age, he's just had a really good, I don't know what you call that, visual cortex.
Yeah, and I feel like it is spatial awareness.
It's all of that.
Very aware of everything around him.
Yeah, not everybody is.
No.
Oh,
definitely not.
But how that relates to synesthesia, not sure. But he does. His is not days. His is not colours. Is it? Alice's colours. Days of the week.
He had a little
colours.
bit about it, but not. Yeah, hers is days of the week associated with colours.
Yes. And
objects, because didn't she say Monday was it a red postbox?
Something like that. You will hear later if you stick around to the end of the podcast. I've got a nice clip to insert from Alice. She's actually sat in your spot. Well, she's standing in your spot in terms of the audio. I used our podcast template to record her. So I did a quick 53-second interview with her, I think it ended up being. So listen later and you'll hear Alice tell you all about her synesthesia version, which is really interesting because she told me one thing and then at the end she went back over it again, inserting shapes as well, which I did not expect. So she not only has days of the week as colours, but days of the week with items or objects as well. Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
So listen for that. And even you haven't heard this clip yet.
No, I haven't.
Ah.
I shall be excited to hear her.
Yeah. Oh, and actually, since Marie messaged me yesterday and we were talking for the first time in ages, she has been listening to all the episodes. She told me that my music tastes like pomegranates.
Mine
of your
music?
particular, apparently, because I do sort of a lot of the jazz thing.
Wow.
And there's one track that she loves called "Awaiting My Daughter," and I made it before Alice was born, and it's kind of this steel pan thing, and she really likes that track. And she said it reminded her
like
of
pomegranates. That's so interesting,
isn't it?
Yeah.
I like making music that feels good and tastes great. Thanks.
Yeah.
I can do that. I could do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice. So we what was it? Do you believe it? Would you believe it?
Would you believe it?
Would you believe it? That's right.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember. So what is this about?
So it's like a few different things, but ultimately things that you were either told by your parents or, other kids in the school playground when you were younger that you probably believed and now realize is pretty ridiculous.
Right. Okay.
So things like your parents would say to you, don't sit too close to the TV or you'll get square eyes. I think that was quite a common one.
Because they're just definitely going to miss shape, aren't they? Just from looking at a screen.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's not good for your eyes to sit too close.
Sure.
But it was always that you would get square eyes. And everybody says the same thing that they were told. It's never, triangle eyes or
no, it's always square.
It's always you'll get square eyes. And eat your crusts off your sandwiches and you'll get curly hair.
I forgot about that one entirely.
Mm-hmm. And I used to get told this all the time because my mum had curly hair. I mean, she still kind of does. It's more wavy. It's not as curly. But at the time, she had very curly hair. And my sister and I had dead straight hair. And I was so desperate to have curly hair. And so I would always eat the crusts when I was told to. And it never worked. And I remember being so disappointed that I did not get curly hair, even though I always ate the crusts.
You need a refund.
Yes. All those crusts I suffered through.
I'd be very crust if I were you.
Yes.
But
then there was don't pull that face, the wind will change and your face will stick.
Yeah.
If you're pulling like a silly face.
Or a long face.
Yeah, just, I don't know, doing something silly, people would say.
A lot of that.
Yeah. In the playground, if you swallowed an apple pip, that it would grow, an apple tree would grow out of your stomach and out of your mouth.
Of course.
Yeah, that I definitely remember, and being terrified of apple pips. Just in case,
I mean, imagine somebody saying that at first, and then the kid propagates that because that's what they heard, and then it just makes the rounds,
I think every child that was certainly in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it starts to phase out after that, because I don't think, although I'm pretty sure when I asked our two, they had heard it. I don't think it was quite as big a thing as when we were at school. And the same with like chewing gum. Oh, if you swallow the chewing gum, it's going to sit in your stomach for 7 years. And if you keep doing that, you're just going to have a stomach full of chewing gum and not be able to eat anything.
Well, it is quite dangerous to do that.
It doesn't take 7 years. It takes like the same amount of time.
But it is dangerous.
Well, I don't know if it's dangerous. It's not great, but it's not going to do any harm.
Oh, it is, because it will stick to your lining.
No, it's not sticky. I've researched this. It's fine. It goes through. It's not terrible.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's not food. It doesn't get broken down in the same way, but it still passes through. It's fine.
Okay, but don't swallow it.
Well, it's not advised to, but it's okay.
Okay.
I'm terrible for swallowing chewing gum, because I just forget and then suddenly it's gone.
Oh my gosh, I never do it.
You never have chewing gum?
I've never done it. No, I have in the years gone by, but I don't do it. I'm freaked out by it, so I never do it.
It's fine. I can put your fears to rest. It is fine. Eat your carrots so you can see in the dark.
Well, that doesn't work.
You can attest to that one.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually written on Trustpilot about this. 1 of 5 stars. Carrots, dark, not a thing.
No.
Do not try this at home.
No, it does not work.
Rubbish.
But it's a good thing to tell your kids. If you eat up all your carrots, you'll be able to see in the dark.
Sure.
Yeah. Listen, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to get them to eat those vegetables.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Well, they're old enough now. They know better. Chemicals in the swimming pool that turn blue if you pee in it.
Oh.
So everyone can see.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a big one. When we used to do swimming lessons, I remember people saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, that's fair enough. Try and avoid
Contaminating.
too many accidents in the swimming pool. One that I think I vaguely remember my mum saying was that it was illegal to turn the light on inside the car when you're driving.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now, it's not illegal, but obviously it's really distracting for the driver. You need it to not be light and bright inside the car so you can see what's outside. But I think because kids are really annoying sometimes, it's just easier for parents to say, oh, well, it's illegal. We can't do that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What about the standing in front of the mirror and turning around 3 times in Candyman? Is that a thing?
Like Bloody Mary and Candyman.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. They were just horrible things that everybody talked about when have you tried it? Let's go into the toilets and try it now. Or at sleepovers.
Oh, yeah.
I remember people doing it at sleepovers.
Always.
Yeah.
Because then you're around other people, and if anything happened, it'd happen to all of you instead of you by yourself.
Well, you're not going to do that kind of thing by yourself, are you? Because what's the
No.
point? It's that kind of hysteria of being in a group. The other thing was, when you're out and your parents saying, I don't think my mum and dad ever said this, but, behave yourself. There's a policeman over there. They'll come and take you away if you're messing around or something. And if there is no policeman, then, that man over there,
Put the fear of strangers into kids.
Exactly. Put the fear in, and also be afraid of that policeman instead of the policeman is someone you can go to if you're in trouble and lost or need help.
That's double standards, really.
Yeah, it's not necessarily, and I don't think we really do that now because I think we're much more aware of the impact of these things on our kids, so we don't say that. And like at home and stuff, saying, and again, I just want to say that my parents never did this, but I know from reading online and other things that parents would say, if the kids weren't going to bed, like, I'm going to call the policeman to come and get you, or the man's going to come and get you from home. So, you better get up to bed and go to sleep quickly or he's going to come and get you. Again, maybe not great to instill such fear in your child just before they're off to their bed.
But there was the boogeyman, of course.
The boogeyman. Yeah.
He would come and get you.
Well, not in my house.
But he would also come and get you if you didn't eat your vegetables too sometimes.
Yeah, maybe. There's that classic one of, if you don't behave, I'm going to phone Santa, which actually the kids and I saw firsthand in French when we were at Disneyland. That was really amusing.
Yes.
Yeah.
You did tell me about that. There was a boy in the queue being ridiculous.
There were 2 little boys that were really messing around and being really irritating. As a family, they were just not great to be stuck in front of for an hour and a half's queue. But yeah, in French, they were calling Papa Noel because they were misbehaving.
That's actually cool. Papa
yeah,
Noel.
It was funny. And I told our 2 and they were laughing about it. One thing, I don't know if this is maybe a lot less common, and I don't know if you would ever have known this, but there were these like little toy things that people used to have in the playgrounds, and they were like these little sticky rubber aliens.
Right.
Did you remember those? Did you ever have that?
Possibly vaguely.
And there was a rumor going around, like everybody said that if you put 2 of them together, I think, or maybe it was just 1, but if you put them in the freezer, that then they would reproduce.
Oh, wow.
And you would come back and there would be another one. Now, of course, that never happened, but that seemed to spread around everywhere. That, yeah, you would have these reproducing little sticky rubber aliens. if you put them in the freezer.
That's a weird one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't
And
think I
apparently,
remember
the guy who made them, he made like an absolute fortune off of those. I think it was 2, because I think that was the thing. Then it made parents have to go out and buy 2 of them because they wanted their kids to, like the kids wanted them
to have another.
to have another.
Yikes.
So yeah, he made an absolute fortune.
Well, easy money.
I know.
You know, one thing we forgot is that boys, anyway, certainly were told by eating carrots you'd get a hairy chest, which is a very weird thing to tell a young child.
Yeah,
But eat carrots, it would put hairs on your chest.
Carrots, you get a hairy chest.
Weird one.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I never got that.
I mean, as a girl, that would just make me not want to eat my carrots.
Well, yes.
Oh dear.
Never got that one.
No. So then I had a little look around on Reddit because,
Yes.
you know, you get all kinds of crazy things. And again, it was silly things that people genuinely believed when they were little. So one that's quite popular is that the world, like the olden days, was like everything was black and white. The world was black and white.
Yeah, of course, because they look at old TV reels
Exactly.
and that's how you
and
saw
pictures,
things.
and that's how you see everything. So they believed that there was no colour
Yeah.
until later. Another was that teachers lived at school. They never left.
Yep.
Which, you know, when you're really tiny, I can kind of see. White cows make white milk and brown cows make chocolate milk.
Wow.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Quite a few people believed that dogs were male and cats were female.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. As you were.
One now, I know from having read lots of other stuff, like parenting things, that this is quite common as well. That parents tell their kids that when the ice cream truck comes around and it's playing music, that means that it's out of ice cream.
That's clever.
Yeah.
No money spent today.
No, sorry, we can't have ice cream because that music means that they've sold out.
It's like bad reverse psychology.
I know, right? Lots of people were told or believed that their mum had eyes in the back of her head
Of course.
because they can always see what they're up to.
They did. This
Yeah.
is the thing. Parents definitely did have eyes in the back of their heads.
Yes.
You can't tell me otherwise.
I'm sure our kids have said something about that in the past. Like, how do you know? Well, eyes in the back of my head.
Of course.
That's what you say.
My mum certainly did.
Yes.
She knew, you know. I would be another room away. And our walls were very thick in that house. She knew.
Yeah.
She knew.
This one I really liked. This woman said that her dad told her that he had hearing loss and that he couldn't hear her if she whined and used a high-pitched tone.
Mm-hmm.
So he would completely ignore until she asked in a normal voice. It turns out that he never had any hearing trouble. It was just a really good way to stop her from using the whiny voice.
Excellent.
Yeah, I like that one.
There you go.
And there were a few, and I read that this is more of an American thing, that people were told that if they played with fire, they'd wet the bed.
I've never heard that one in my
I've never
life.
heard that, but lots of people did say this, and they said, oh yeah, that's an American thing. So...
Should have made it played with guns.
Well
There you
yeah.
go.
That's pretty much all I have, but just one thing that this did remind me of, which I just thought was really cute, was when Jake was little, it was just after he turned 7, he was really excited because he'd never had fizzy drinks. We didn't give them fizzy drinks and stuff, but he said that now he was over 7, he could have 7-Up.
I like that.
Yeah.
I remember that actually.
Yeah.
You put that in
believed
Time
you had
Hop.
to be 7 and up. Yeah.
To drink 7-Up.
To drink 7-Up, which makes total sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one of the very few fizzy drinks I don't mind. That and Tango and a Fanta. I don't drink Coke. Anyone knows me that. Coke and coffee.
Yeah.
But yeah, 7-Up actually, I can live with that. It's all right.
Yeah.
What an interesting collection. And I actually wonder if there are things from other countries, particularly in other languages. Maybe they won't translate to English very well, but this would segue nicely into an episode on onomatopoeia, because I really want to do that at some point. But sayings that you heard as children in the playground or from your parents, whether in English or otherwise. I'd love to hear about these.
Definitely.
So tell us more if you have anything to add. Nice short one this week, just to while away some time for you while your washing is spinning around in the dryer or something, or you commute to work. But yeah.
Or a dog walk.
Yeah.
People have said they listen on their dog walk, which is when I listen to all of my podcasts.
On the dog walk. Well, my MIDI teacher, Jez, listened to our last episode, said he got a lot out of it. And he said our chemistry was good.
Of course.
Yeah, it's great. So, to new listeners and old, thanks for listening. And tell your friends. Tell your friends about us. And that they should tune in and become Stroongers just like you. Well, I'll see you next time, won't we?
Yes. Bye.
So, Alice also has synesthesia, and I thought I'd just do this little insert bit and she can tell you about her version of it, because we talked about it after the last episode, but we didn't know that you and Jake had it. So, what's your version of synesthesia? It's a hard word to say.
So, I see the days of the week as like colours. So for me, Monday is red, Tuesday is blue, Wednesday is orange, Thursday is purple, and then Friday is yellow. Saturday is wait, I forgot it now. I don't know. I can't remember what Saturday.
Not everything has to have one. That's the thing, you know.
And I know Sunday was pink.
It's Pink Sunday.
Yeah, that's mine.
Do you have anything else with like numbers or people's names or places? Because sometimes it can be things like that as well.
I don't know if I can think of any right now.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, a lot of people, if they have this, then they know it instantly and you never have to think about it. And if you have to think about it, you probably don't. But your days of the week, you said that with much confidence. So I know that that's true
they
for that.
They just stick with me.
They stick with you, don't they? What about the post box? You also said Monday was a post box.
Oh yeah, I said Monday was a post box.
So is it a colour and a shape or an item?
And then like I remember Thursday was like a night sky for some reason.
Really?
Sunday is a balloon.
So it's a pink balloon.
Yeah.
So does that mean that Monday is a red post box?
Yeah.
Not a phone box, but a post box.
Yeah, post box.
That's very interesting. All right, well, if you think of anything else, do let us know. This will be a fun little insert and people won't be expecting it, so thank you for being here with us today.